Just come outside, and there's the airplane as soon as I get out here. Of course, just got the welder drug out. Had to pull the tarp. I put a tarp over my camper the other day to prevent any more damage. Thanks to weather, because it's rained here for about a week now. Crazy day. Crazy day. Crazy day. I'm not feeling good. I haven't felt good for a while. Rain. For some reason, rain amplifies directed energy. Don't tell me why. It's just like when people tell you cold weather will help reenact pain in body joints. Well, the same temperatures do that with directed energy. It works much better. A lot of things in the news today. Congress is talking about the $500 million that was stolen by illegal aliens during the COVID debacle. $500 million was stolen by illegal aliens in America. COVID relief, $500 million went to people outside of the United States that should not even be here. $500 million. $1.2 billion went to people who were dead. As I told you when it was going on, it was nothing but a Democrat scheme to enriching their supporters. That's all they do. Anytime Democrats in the White House, they are shifting the taxpayer money to all their illegal schemes, all their criminal activities like Acorn, like the FTX, all of that criminality. Also in the news, I don't know if you saw it yesterday, if you saw my community post on this channel, Targeted Citizen 3, since I'm still being silenced on the most targeted citizen. The Biden administration has allowed a Chinese surveillance balloon, to travel across the whole entire country unharmed. What? Tell me if we could take an American-made balloon and fly it over China right now and see if we get away with it. Why would they use a hot air balloon? That's just a fake story. Well, here I am again telling facts and truths as I always do, because we don't lie here on the Targeted Citizen News Network. The reason for the hot air balloon is because it has no technology on it. Now, it is constantly transmitting photo data, video data, and GPS coordinates. It is transmitting that. This is the test run for the EMP, electromagnetic pulse. Because you see, the balloon, it'll go as long as it can till it gets right over certain places in America where the big power grids are set, the main power grids for our country. Keep asking yourself, why are we on this grid? Why are they switching off of fossil fuels? Why are they going to solar and windmills? Why are they doing all that? Well, let me tell you. When coal's powering it, you have a direct line of instant power due to the heat and energy created by coal. When we go off coal and natural gas and we rely on green energy, it must have the grid to produce the electricity. So when an electromagnetic pulse comes over, it fries anything and everything with a microchip, anything with an electrical signal in it. If your car is sitting out in your driveway, it's got a computer in it, that car can be abandoned for 30 years. But when that pulse comes down, it fries every computer device in that vehicle. Every one of them. Our grid will go down. We don't have any protection whatsoever. Our radar, our nuclear silos, there is no protection against an EMP. Now, there are these companies, and I think I thought about buying it, but it just seems like a big scam. But we can protect you from an EMP. $385. Just plug it in like it's a power bar, and it'll protect you from an EMP. Well, how do you know it works? I could say, everybody, give me $384. I'm going to send you this cup, this Bojangles finest and fixin' famous biscuits, chicken and biscuit bowl. This is going to protect you from directed energy weapons. Money back guarantee if it doesn't work. Well, when that doesn't protect you, you can't pick up your phone and call the company. When that doesn't protect you, the last thing in the world that you're going to be thinking about, man, you know, I don't really need to get on these guys about this warranty. They guarantee it, and it didn't work. I guess I'm going to get in my car and drive 700 miles out there. I have to rent a car. Oh, wait a second, there are no cars to rent. How am I going to get to that place to get my money back? This is all a precursor. Now you may ask, how can we have so much criminality and no one stop it? Because this is God's will. God's will for America to be destroyed? Yes, absolutely. That's why it is so blatantly in our face about how criminal the communists are that's running the White House and actually the whole country. It's in our face. God is saying, is making no doubt, you didn't worship me. You didn't have faith in me. You turned your back on me, America, the greatest land to ever exist in the world. I gave you the Garden of Eden in this country, and you decided you wanted to slaughter babies and go around the world slaughtering innocent people. Welcome my wrath. God is not going to save us when the technology that is in every person that was medicated, God forbid, I mean, it doesn't really have to be big technology, does it? We've seen the effects of all this tyranny that happened the past 2 or 3 years of people falling over dead with myocarditis. Falling over dead. Young people falling over dead. Not a history of healthcare issues, cardiac issues. People should be the healthiest in our society, including our military, who are what, the youngest and strongest among us? What happens when all that's activated? America's destruction is soon coming. We have literally went 500 years the past 3 years. It was 50, now it's 500 years. Literal tyranny on every forefront. I can't speak freely in America. I've stood here for the 7 minutes and censored every word out of my mouth. I've had to stop and think about what I have to say just so they won't silence me. This is America? And the young ones coming up now, there is a disconnect in their mind. They don't have the common sense it takes. I don't know how they tie their shoes. I had no clue how they tie their shoes. It's like people like Turd Gorilla. Oh my gosh. For someone to be so, let's just say skilled on a computer, that he believes every word the government says? Oh yeah. Aluminum airplanes take down big buildings. Aluminum airplanes cut right through those huge steel structures filled with concrete. Aluminum airplanes buzzsawed right through it. Well, let me show you something. I don't know if you guys are aware of aviation at all, but airplanes, they make them light so they can fly. The sheet metal on an airplane is probably 10 cans thick. 10 cans thick. Like, not whole cans thick, mashed thick. That's how thick the aluminum is on airplanes. But they want you to believe that aluminum canned airplane cut through the middle of a building, and somehow that weakened the structure way down at the bottom. Now, we could go back and forth on the details of the 2 buildings that failed, that got hit by airplanes, by jets. What about the one that didn't get touched and fell right down in its own tracks? But no. Why would our government do that? They love us. It's coming out every day, all the criminal activity. And it's just one big waste of time. Just like Benghazi. Benghazi was a gun running operation. Hillary Clinton had everybody in that compound slaughtered because they knew about it. They were getting ready to expose it. What happened? We got 1,000 good sound bites from Trey the Bulldog Gowdy. What difference does it make, Hillary Clinton? What difference does it make? They're dead. Trey Gowdy just ripped her apart. But after all the lies, all the criminal activity on these panels, not one criminal referral from Congress. It's a dog and pony show, and everybody's like, "Oh, the Republicans have taken over the House. We're gonna get them now. We're gonna have investigations day in day out, and we're gonna bring justice." No, you're not. Here's an analogy for you. The Republican Congress, they're a gun. They're guns. Let's think of them in the mentality. They are guns. Jim Jordan, he's a gun. Matt Gaetz, he's a gun. Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's a gun. That's a weapon of war. What good is that gun if it ain't got no ammunition? The ammunition would be the DOJ, the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice is going after people like me, parents worried about their children, going after us for a speeding ticket, a tag light out. The cops will kill you on the side of the road. They'll kill you over a tag light being out. But they'll protect pedophiles and actual murderers. They're protecting the cartels running this country in the ground. They'll protect the criminals while coming after the innocent like me. It's over. Our children will never know what true freedom was. You know, when I was a kid, I used to play a game called Smear the Queer. Did we put it together in our head that we were talking about alphabet people? The term alphabet wasn't even used back then. And rarely did you ever see a rainbow flag. It was a football game with kids. Whoever has the ball, you smear them. Smear, the only word that the kids could think of was queer. We didn't have a lynch mob to kill homosexuals. Just the name of it. If there would have been a different name to describe the person we were going to take down, that would have been the name. But there was no animus. There was no hate. It was a bunch of kids getting together doing it. When I was in school, there was one Mexican kid in the whole entire school. In 9th grade, when I went to school in 9th grade, the first white girl I ever saw that dated a black guy. When I was in 9th grade. That tells you how old I am. Back then you could listen to Michael Jackson, Warrant, Ozzy Osbourne, and Belle Biv DeVoe on the same radio station. We weren't segregated. We weren't split in half. We were together. Racism was hardly ever even mentioned, besides when you got around race hustlers like Al Sharpton and Ben Crump and all them. There was no racism. We were all growing up in the greatest country in the world, and we loved it. The biggest risk to our lives as kids in high school was somebody lighting a cigarette around one of the girls that had tall hair because she would go up in flames. That was the biggest threat to our lives. And now look, every day our children are bombarded with hate. Just watched Tim Pool, the Timcast, and a little 9-year-old girl on a bus got beaten almost to death on a school bus by 2 black boys. On Pacific Coast Highway, a doctor was riding his bicycle from work, and a black man hits him on a Lexus, gets out, and then stabs him to death while screaming white privilege. Racism was dead in America until Barack Obama came in. Dead. Quote me. I'm from the South. The people you hear about screaming about racism the most are the white liberals in these Yankee cities and states that have never been around black folks a day in their life. Down in the South, I know black men around this. There's one black guy in my town. He's got a rebel flag belt buckle, a rebel flag shirt, a rebel flag on his boots, rebel flag on his cowboy hat. He's got a rebel flag tattooed on his arm. Why? Because he knows the meaning. And he knows the meaning isn't hate. There were more blacks that fought for the South than ever fought for the North. But here we are pitting everybody together with critical race theory. What in the world? How have we let these people do this? Turn off the TV. See, I can't even come on YouTube and say what needs to be said because they don't want what I'm saying to be heard. Because people judge me. Look at him. Well, he's got to be a racist. He's a redneck because he's got a rebel flag out front and he's got a beard and he hunts and fishes. That man hates black people. What? I love nothing more to see my black brothers and sisters rise up, be informed, and stand up and do well. I've got color in my family more than most folks do. But here we are in America today letting these left-wing liberals destroy us, rip us apart. And listen, China's behind the scenes like puppet masters. They control TikTok. They give our kids all the racist content, all the hate content, and all this transsexual crap content to program our children's minds that, look, we're all different. There's nothing like, I'm different, that person's different, we're all different. We need to isolate ourselves while at the same time screaming equality. It's disgusting. And America's done. It's over. It's over. If only I could get out of here. I'm doing my best to get out, but I can't. It's literally like I've got a bungee cord strapped to my pants, and every time I get 3 feet away, it jerks me back farther, and I can't get away. I can't get somebody to take money so I can leave. If you can get out of America, sell everything you got and go. Escape, because it's not going to go well. The Bible says that Babylon will be destroyed in 1 hour. 1 hour, Babylon will be destroyed. And when it's destroyed, all of America's enemies, because guess what? There's a war going on. Did you know that Israel bombed Iran the other night? I don't know if you heard about that one. World War III has already started, but they're not telling the American people. We have the weakest military of ever in American history. We have the weakest military right now than ever before. And they've got some unknown detonation system in their bodies that says, self-destruct in 3, 2. We're doomed. Our children will never know true freedom. They'll never know how great this country was with all its faults. Did you know there were more Irish slaves in the South than there ever were blacks? But you don't see the Irish in the streets bitching about inequality. They get out and work. They hustled. George Soros said at a press conference in Germany, I think in 2014, he said, we're going to go after the black race in America. We're going to rile them up because they're like animals. They can't control themselves. So we're going to hit them and push them, and we're going to control them to destroy America. What? Now, you try to find that clip today, it's been disappeared. You might be able to go to DuckDuckGo or Bing. You may find it there. I've looked and couldn't find it again, but I've heard it 2 or 3 different times. This is the same man who said, I enjoyed killing Jews. When I was 14, I led the Nazis around to rob and slaughter the Jews. It was the best times of my life. And then liberals like my ex-attorney, nutbags like, oh, he's a humanitarian. He just did what he had to do to survive. He's a good man. All the great causes. It's like the people who should be smart, who have all these letters behind their names, are some of the dumbest in society. You will get much farther in America right now if you just got common sense. I've heard stories of millionaires who could not even read, but they had the common sense to maneuver and negotiate every situation. We're doomed. It's not going to get any better. At all. At all. I'm Stuart Piddle, I'm the most targeted citizen. Targeted Citizen 3. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, and subscribe. Most Targeted Citizen, that's the #1 channel, so go over there if you're not there. Link, go ahead and hit it up. Like, share, and subscribe over there. I'll stay here until they shut me down, or until the other channel comes back up, and I'll go back over there and pray that they don't silence me again. Because I don't know what they've got in the barrel of the gun to shoot me with next, because God knows what's come out of my mouth the past beginning, since I've been on YouTube with the channel that they've let me have this long. God bless.